Let's go ahead and install WordPress onto our hosting site. I use one-in-one, so how I do it is I go to admin.one-in-one. The latest version of WordPress is 4.5.2 at the time of this video. So once I log into my control panel, I click on my SQL database and it'll show all the databases. So I click on new database because WordPress requires a database to store information of your site. You're going to have to name it. So description, I found this is a really good thing to do because once you have a lot of databases, some of them don't get used, and it's nice to delete them. One-in-one every while tries to charge me for PHP support for older versions because I didn't update them. But anyhow, I choose a password for my database and I enter it and then I click setup. It takes about a couple minutes to do that, but we have other stuff to do. Once you do setup, it gives you a summary. So what I usually do is I copy over the summary information using the snippet tool. And I'll put it in a Word file so that I can have access to this later. Right now I'm creating a snippet and I'm copying it over. I think I did Control C, the shortcut, and I'm pasting it in. No, I didn't copy it yet, but now I'm pasting it into Word. This will be useful, and you'll see why in a second. Well, a couple minutes. Okay, shut the snippet tool down, and it gives all the information. We're going to need database name, host name, username, and okay. So we're done with one-in-one right now. Okay, you go to wordpress.org, download the latest version. It takes about a little bit less than a minute if you have a nice, good speed internet connection. And you're going to have to, now I'm going into a free FTP program called FileZilla. Google, I think it's filezilla.com, but you can Google it and it's very good. It works, does everything you need to do, and it's free. Right now I am looking to the folder that I'm going to copy all my files in. This is where my databases could be stored. I went to my download and now I'm extracting it. And once it extracts, in this version, it puts it just in a folder called WordPress. In the previous version, it was called WordPress, whatever the name of the zip file was. And this kind of confused me when I looked for it. Right now, I'm going up, and I'm going to have to navigate because it doesn't show my libraries. I'm going to have to go to Users. And under users it will have my download file, my download folder. Now here underneath this I am looking, where did it extract that? I don't see it. Did it extract it? That's what I'm saying in my mind. I don't see a WordPress 4.5.2 folder. That's not a zip. But I did see a WordPress file, a WordPress folder. Could that be it? Looks like it might be it. I haven't installed WordPress in a long time, so I'm going to select it and I'm going to copy all the contents, hitting Control A. I'm going to drag them over to the Webhost. Make sure that you're in the correct folder, otherwise you're going to have to do a lot of cleanup. This transferring, I've paused the video capture at different points, but this transferring takes a lot of time. I have a high-speed connection, and right there it shows how many files, the queued files, and there's about 1,300 files that need to be transferred over. Our internet speed here is about 50 megs download, 10 upload, and it takes about 3 minutes to complete this process. If you're lucky, you have Google Fiber, it might be quicker. Some of the overhead is determined by 1&1 or your hosting site. But basically, it's transferring all the files over from your local computer that you downloaded from WordPress, the content management system, and it's putting them on your server, because on your hosting server, because this will be where your website is hosted. And if you don't use 1&1, it should be very similar. Today now, a lot of the companies are include that as a one-click install on your control panel. I like to do it the manual way, just because I know I have more control. I'll get into some of the files and tweak them, and I don't like, well, it's just, that's how I started when I first started working with WordPress. Okay, went back, it's transferred all the files. On the bottom you can see 1,349, and here's what we have. Everything looks good. So right now I'm typing in the URL so I can go ahead and finish the process. Man, what's wrong? It shows the... Oh, that's right. Last night I did a subdomain. I have hotatlantic.com as a website, and I created a subdomain called fairfield.hotatlantic.com. And I used a frame redirect so that so it's not going to the actual location. So I'm just realizing that. So I'm going to have to type the actual location. Heaven Glow is my main root directory domain URL, and looks like here I forgot what the name of the where the files were stored. Nope, it's not that either. I'm gonna have to go back to FileZilla and browse and see what the name is. So right now I open it up. I'm gonna connect to the host. I go top right corner, drop down, and I connect to that. And what can it be? Could it be FFG Lakes? Yes. Oh, how stupid of me. So I go back, and that's the direct URL. Okay, I speak English, and once you do this, it just starts running. This is where the Word file that we copied over the information. A lot of times I just use it from the 1&1 site, but it's also good to keep a record of this. If you use it from the 1&1 site, you can cut and paste. But basically, database name for 1&1 is DB and some long number. So I'm going to type it in. If you notice, the username is this number, and DB is used a lot in username, hostname. Username's the same thing as that, so I'm cutting and copying, except after DB it has a O, not a 0, a little O. So I insert the little O. Okay, now it's asking me the password for whatever I chose, and I'm gonna blank this out. because, you know, it's security practices. Not that anyone would try. And now the database host, where it says local host, that's for like a local machine. This is the actual place where the database is stored. So I just, it's the database name at db.1and1.com for 1and1 hosting. Other hosts are similar. Okay, run the install. So it's going to ask me for my site title. This is going to be a portal that I use to share information for a project I'm working on. So when people go to the website, that's what they'll see in their little tab on their browser. Now it's asking me to create a username for this one. I'm just going to create Paul. And it's going to ask me for... I'm copying this over to that Word file just because I have so many WordPress sites that I'll try to log into it for something else. Now it's going to ask for a password. I'm blanking this out too. I just noticed you can hide it. So, and it tells you if it's weak. And if it's weak, I'm going to copy this over to Word so I can save the file, and then I'll have a copy in case I forget my password and I don't have to have WordPress email it to me, password reset. So, okay, tells me it's very weak and I have to confirm, and then I put in my email. And I'm going to discourage the search engines because this is going to be a private portal. Okay, it's been installed. Wow, quick. So, it asks me to log in. That's from I'm going to type in the password I chose. And remember me. Oh no, I typed in a wrong password. But I hope, well, forget what Okay, we see the WordPress dashboard, and that's good. That means the install went great, and now I'm going to double check it by going to the actual URL of the web page. There it is, fairfield.hotatlantic.com. So that is how you do it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe because I am going to start with this YouTube channel adding videos very frequently. And leave comments if I do anything stupid or if it helped you or if you have any questions.